You're applying to grad school right now and your statement of purpose, also known as SOP, still sounds kind of flat. You've made so much effort and it looks like this doesn't really sound like it doesn't really give you what you want. I've got you. I once thought that a good SOP was just about, you know, my grades, my research, and then all the big words and the cliches of I am passionate about this and I would like to work with you. No, until I read Donald Asher's graduate admission essay. Today, I'll be sharing 10 solid word tips from that book, Simplified, very straight to the point, that helped me write an SOP that finally stood out. Welcome to my channel. My name is Grace Obio and I'm also known as PhD Mom. I help prospective graduate students navigate their way through grad school by simplifying the graduate application process for the United States and some other countries. In this video, whether you are in arts, humanities or science, this will definitely work for you. Stay with me. First, number one, start with a story and not just a statement. You do not just have to start telling us I want to you know, work with you, or I'm applying to your master's program, because no, that is just a statement. Start with an attention grabbing story. Example, the first time I walked into a community at the center and saw how color changed children's moods, I understood the power of creativity. Whoever reads that will be like, ooh. Or you could just say, sometime in 2015, my mom had this particular ailment and we didn't know what to do, because after going through to different places for diagnosis, it looked like we weren't getting a solution to her problem. We ran so many tests, and you know, along the way I got curious with this. Like, you understand, you have already caught the attention of whoever that is reading your statement of purpose. So start with a story. Always tell a story, no matter how short it is, whether it is real or it is fictional. Start with a story. Number two, show motivation, not just your qualification. Now, the committee want to see your motivation, not just your resume. Your resume is already part of the application materials. So we do not just want to see, you have a first class or a second class, or this is your grade. No, they're not just asking you, can you do this? But they want to know, why do you care enough to see it through? Like, what? Example, instead of saying I completed several courses in environmental chemistry, you could say each course I took in environmental chemistry deepened my curiosity about how pollutants move through the food webs. This is a question I'm still trying to unravel. I mean, whoever sees it to be like, this student really has, you know, like, is really motivated. He isn't just telling us he did a course in environmental chemistry or in English or in physics or in art. No, you're telling us something about it that shows you a motivation. Number three, tell a story of growth. So we want to see how you've grown. Did you do an internship? Did you do a volunteering work sometime, maybe different volunteering activities, or maybe you even have a master's or an extra degree, or maybe you have work experience, or maybe you have published papers. You have to show evidence of growth. Show how you evolved from interest to action to insight to readiness for graduate school. Example, my first attempt at conducting field research was messy. I mislabeled half of the samples, but it taught me attention to detail, and that one mistake completely reshaped how I now approach data. Do you see that? So they're not looking for perfection. They want to see your reflection, your growth. Oh, during my internship, these were some of the challenges I faced, but in the course of this internship, I learned better how to communicate with people, how to communicate with my leaders, how to work with peers, how to work in a group, and how to give feedback, and how to receive and give feedback. This is an example of growth. Now, why this not why, sorry, where you have to be specific about why that program fits you. At this point, copy and paste is not going to work. You cannot use one SOP for different applications in different schools. It's going to show. Or you can use AI to just write something general. It is also going to show. Now, this is not what Asher calls the fit argument. Every SOP should clearly show that you have done your homework on that specific school. For example, I am particularly drawn to Professor Rice Cooker's work on environmental policy, which bridges my interest in science and community engagement. Or maybe you are in the humanities, you could say the program or your program emphasizes on critical cultural studies that aligns perfectly with my research on storytelling. So you're talking about what that professor is doing, or what that lab is doing, or what the general program is about, and then find a way to link it to something that you have done in the past or you are genuinely interested in. Now you see, when you mention your fit for their program, you have to find a way to link it to your goals. Make sure it fits. Number 5, I don't know if I'm still numbering, but this is number 5. Balance confidence with humility. I know that you're perfect. According to you, you have a first class, you have a 2-1, you are the top graduating student, but we want to see, how are you humble? Are you willing to stay under a research group? Are you willing to work with a professor? Are you willing to work with postdocs? Because these are people you're going to work with. So you do not have to sound arrogant, but at the same time, you're not underselling yourself, but your tone, for example, let me give you an example. I'm the perfect candidate for your program, and my academic background and fieldwork experiences have prepared me to contribute meaningfully to your research community. Which sounds better? The second one, right? You see, you're selling yourself, you're telling them you have good experiences that is fit for the program. At the same time, you are sounding really humble, because instead of, you have to find a way to fine-tune your word, your tone, so that whoever reads it would see that you have the skills you have, at the same time you're humble. Replace self-praise with evidence. Instead of saying I am passionate, you show how that passion shows up in your action. Give an example of an action that has produced the results that shows passion, not just saying I am passionate. You don't have to use those words. Number 6, connect the dots. Don't just list them. Your SOP should sound like a cohesive story, not a resume in a paragraph form. Let me give you an example. For my internship at the Art Museum, from my internship at the Art Museum to my thesis on visual identity, for an example, my experiences have helped me see how storytelling shapes culture. Do you see that? You already told them I did an internship at this place. You're telling them this was what my thesis, maybe your undergraduate thesis or your master's thesis, was all about, and then you now find a way to link it together, that all of these shows or has helped you shape this particular interest or this particular skill that you have. So they want to see a purposeful direction. They want to see that every step you've taken leads you to where you are going to be next, or leads you to the next place. There shouldn't be a disconnect. If at all you are you're pivoting to another field, it is okay. You also find a way to tell your story. Maybe an experience you had that decided to make you to change your mind, or decided to make you to have a change in your research field or research interest. That is okay, but find a way to always connect the dots. That is what an SOP is all about. Number 7, show insight, especially about yourself. What does this mean? Now, graduate school wants to understand, do you know your strengths? Do you know your challenges that you faced in life? And do you have a direction? Example, I used to think good research was just about finding the right answers. Now I know it's about I know it's about asking the right question. Now, you talked about a particular weakness that you have, you see, but at the same time you found a way to see that was a challenge I had, and this is the strength, like this is the direction I understand research is taking me to. So you find a way to to put in what we call like a reflective sentence, like the example I just gave. Now it makes your SOP feel really genuine and emotionally mature, kind of. Now, number 8, close with a vision. not desperation. You do not have to tell them, oh, I look forward to hearing from you. I really want you to okay, I look forward to hearing from you, something like that. That's one statement we use when we're sending emails, or we're sounding a little bit desperate. No, sound like someone who has a vision. Example: through your program, I hope to refine my research skills and contribute to projects that advance sustainable policy, sustainable development, and someday teach the next generation to do the same. It could be through your program. I hope to help conserve maybe animals. I hope to help protect the ecosystem. I hope to help maybe children with special needs. I hope to find more answers to this question. I hope to contribute to cancer research in the world. Something. So you have to close your last paragraph should end with a vision and not really desperation, and it makes them see that you're optimistic. At the same time, you are not begging for a spot, but you know that you have the potential for growth and you're putting it forward to them. Now, number 9 tip: let your personality show. Let your personality show. Use your natural voice. You should understand something. It is people that admit people. The people that are going to be reading your SOP, and it's not computer that will be reading your SOP. It is human beings, professors, people who have emotions, people who have the human touch. So they know when this thing sounds so vague, like, okay, that's too much English. No, let your personality show, not just jargon. You understand? Or AI sounding perfection. You should, if you're naturally curious, or you're funny, or you're poetic, let it show in your writing. You understand? These are the little things that will make your SOP stand out and sound really memorable. Now, the last point: proofread with emotion and not just grammar. It is okay to make sure that your grammar stands out. Yes, nobody wants to read an SOP with lots of typographical errors, but at the same time, ask yourself, read it out loud to yourself. Does this sound like my true voice? Does it make someone want to meet me? Someone will read your SOP and is like, wow, I really want to meet that guy who wrote this story. Well, I need to see this guy. I need to have him in my lab. Does it make every program, does every of the paragraph that you've written move your story forward? Like, each paragraph, does it lead to the next paragraph? Does it make someone want to keep reading? Because you see, there are hundreds of SOPs, and the one that feels more alive, the one that relates to the emotions, that has the human touch, will definitely get the attention of the reviewers compared to the one that just was filled with lots of jargons. Now, this is a quick recap, and before I make the quick recap, I want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you're going to be missing a lot, because I'm going to be sharing another video on how to write an SOP that guarantees you assistantships and fundings. A quick recap: number 1, hook up with a story, show motivation and growth in your story, prove that you're really ready, and this with your experiences by connecting every experience with purpose. Personalize for each program. If you're applying to different programs, make sure there is that personal touch to show that you have gone through their what they do in the graduate admission website, and then end with a vision and your voice. Trust me, with this, you are definitely going to write something better than you have been writing. And if you want someone to look through your statement of purpose, maybe you need a review, or you want someone to look at it, I could do that, and I offer that for a very little fee. You can check the comment section for link on how to contact me for review of your SOP. Bye, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video if you found it really helpful with your friends. Thank you.